Hello Leo, this is Ashley and we're going to be doing your general reading for the month of September 2021. Now this reading will include, I believe it's the 29th through the 31st of August, so just kind of that tail end of August. But this is a future focused reading, so there may not be anything that comes through yet that feels like it resonates. We're going to be looking at strengths, challenges, and then an outcome for the month of September. So this is all coming up in September. So I do recommend you check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus just to kind of get an idea of what's coming through next month for you. And to come back to this, if you happen to encounter this scenario that comes up. So we will have a look. Now, if we do have any cards that come up that signify some sort of issue from the past, I will talk about that. So that might help you hone in on whether or not this is your reading. So, Leo, September 2021. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And a couple of other notes. I'm going to be putting out like a 3-month fall forecast for love. So those will be coming out this week. As I get them filmed, I'll just upload them one at a time, so keep an eye out for that. And another thing to note is that September we have a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and we're headed in, well, we just entered Virgo season yesterday as I'm filming this. It is the 23rd of August, and so whatever's kind of coming up this month will probably come back for a revisit as Mercury goes retrograde. So, and that'll be ongoing until October 18th. So if you have any planets or points in Virgo between 10 and 25 degrees, you will probably be experiencing that more strongly than anybody that doesn't have planets or points there. So, alright. So, let's see. Kind of let's see, we've got the star at the bottom of the deck. Could be dealing with some Aquarius peeps. You could also have Aquarius placements in your chart, or it could simply be that something about your destiny is coming into play this month. What is interesting is that in your strength position we have community, and so could be like friendships, neighbors, just any kind of a group that you might be associated with or that you are going to join. This could even be like online dating. And so really it's kind of anything that you're doing when it comes to socializing, kind of taking part in a new activity that involves others. Could be a volunteering type thing. Could be a number of things. But then in the challenge and the outcome position, we have flow and resistance, which basically talk about the same thing, which is kind of like, it's almost like an energy of trying to beat down a closed door. And it's like refusing to open for you. So we'll kind of see what comes up and why that might be coming through. So, like I said, in your strength position, We have the Community Oracle card. And so it could be that from the perspective of looking at September 2021, something that is supporting you is your network, your family, your friends. You could have a new group of people kind of coming into your life to kind of support you in your endeavors. And so we'll kind of see how that plays out when we clarify. We have the King of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. I kind of feel like this could be career with this King of Pentacles here. It could just be that you're receiving support in building your own abundance, because we do have the Five of Pentacles here, which can kind of be like tight funds, right? And so with the King of Pentacles also being here, it could be that you're somehow your involvement in a group, workplace, some sort of community establishment is helping you to grow your finances. But let's see what we get to clarify this first row. For Leo, let's see, King of Pentacles, we're getting the Moon. And the Three of Pentacles. With the Page of Wands, we're getting the Eight of Pentacles. Oh wow, and the Ten of Pentacles. And for the Five of Pentacles, we're getting the Three of Swords. And the Two of Wands. Okay. So it's interesting. So this is the second reading I've done, and it feels like the last card so far in this row almost seems to be like a flashback into the past. And so that's kind of what I'm getting from this. But we'll get there. Let's see. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Three of Pentacles. And so kind of what I'm getting from this is that I think something's coming in September that is kind of offering you an opportunity to build something. It could be something that you've already been working on, because we don't have an ace here, but we do have a lot of pentacles. So I do feel like this is either finance or career focused. But I do feel like it's like you get this inspired idea and you have an authority figure that kind of comes in and suggests that you put some work on this idea, and it somehow brings about some serious cash flow or abundance here. It kind of builds something that I don't think maybe you were expecting with this Moon card coming in. And so it's almost like this sudden opportunity that comes through somewhere in your community, or I would say workplace. There could even be someone that you know, that has a connection in your community, and you're offered a position that allows you to build upon something that you're already, I think, somewhat established in, but it gives you a chance to really build on it. So when I see the Eight of Pentacles, I kind of think of someone who's working towards like almost being an expert in something. It's kind of an apprentice type energy, but not necessarily like a full amateur, if that makes sense. So it's just like you hone your craft in some way. And so, but then look, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. So it's like something's building in September when it comes to your financial security and abundance. Now, it could also be that you're actually offered a position in authority with this King of Pentacles. And that allows you to have some sort of bigger influence within the workplace or within the community. I do feel like somehow this is a result of something that didn't work out in the past. So with the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Swords coming in with this 5 of Pentacles, there was something in the past that was either not profiting or being profitable, or there was almost like a job loss or rejection that happened. And it kind of put you in this position with this 2 of Wands to kind of look to the future, like, okay, now what am I going to do? So this could be coming from some sort of job loss that has happened. And then suddenly someone in the community comes in, offers you a position, and you're able to like rebuild. And this feels quickly. Like there's not a card here that signifies that speed, but something about it feels that way. Just intuitively, because really the Pentacles suit in the tarot is kind of really slow and grounded. But I do feel like there's some speed to this. But I do feel like you could even have like a headhunter that's kind of been keeping an eye on you, or that finds you like through LinkedIn or something like that. So could very well be a networking kind of thing that comes in. So that's looking really good, and that is in your strength position. Now, in your challenge position, we have the Oracle card of flow. And so when it's coming in the challenge position, to me, this is talking about, trying to swim upstream. It's like there's something that you're resisting. It could be that you're out looking for a job and you apply to 20 of them and you don't hear back on anything. And so for the month of September, just keep an eye out for that, because it is coming in more than once in this reading where you might have your mind set on something. And I think kind of what comes through might be a little bit different than what you are expecting. Now we do have the 4 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. And so the challenge here, it's like you're holding on tight to your own financial security and perhaps to an idea when it comes to work. And you can see all these padlocks on the fence in front of her, and it's like her part of her dress is a house. And so like if there was a job loss that took place, you could very well be in a position where you feel like something needs to happen. It needs to happen now because my financial security depends on it. And I do feel like it's work related with this 3 of Pentacles coming in as your center card. And so you're trying to collaborate, you're trying to get out there, put your name out there, and perhaps nothing's quite working out. And this Page of Cups, you can see she's kind of like gazing at this little fish that's popping up out of her coffee cup. And this to me just kind of reiterates that possibility that you have this idea of what you're going to be doing for work, but it's just not nothing's moving with that. And so it's kind of interesting because it almost feels like these two rows are the beginning of the month and this strength is maybe at the end of the month, because the challenge here is that it doesn't seem like anything is moving for you. Let's see. Why do we have the Four of Pentacles? The King of Swords. And the Queen of Cups. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius, Pisces, or an air sign, water sign here. Three of Pentacles. We're getting the Ten of Wands. Oh goodness. And the Lovers. And then the Page of Cups. We're getting the Empress. And the Eight of Cups. So, okay. I think part of maybe what's coming through, I'll talk career again, because I do feel like we've got a lot of pentacles on the table. But I feel like now that this center row has come through, I need to look at this from a love position as well. So, Leo, let's keep on the career track real quick, and I'll talk about what this could mean. So, it feels like, kind of like I was saying, it's like with the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups here, it's like you intuitively know and you mentally know what you want, and what's going to keep you secure. But I think what is showing up here when it comes to resistance and not being in the flow is that it's like you have your heart set on something, and that's almost becoming the burden for you when it comes to work. I do feel like some advice for this month would just be to kind of like open up to the potentials. If you have lost a job, I do feel like there's a potential for something not quite brand new, but something a little different that's going to require some more learning on your part, but it's just going to like take off. And so keep your mind open as to what might be coming in. With this Page of Cups, we have the Empress and the Eight of Cups. And so it could very well feel like, from a challenge perspective, that you are walking away, or that you've walked away or been kicked out of a job that was abundant for you at some point, and you feel like maybe where you're headed is kind of in a darker direction. You can see he's walking into the darkness under the light of the moon. And so it almost feels like maybe you're sitting there pondering like, oh, I'm going to lose all this money if I don't get a job soon, or if I don't get this raise or promotion or whatever it is. But this is the challenge row, and so this is just what's coming through. We haven't yet gotten to the outcome here. From a love perspective, you could very well be dealing with an air sign or a water sign. Someone here is holding on to this relationship after an ending took place in the past. It could be that after getting out into the community, maybe dating, maybe online dating, it could be that you've gone out there and you're finding that nothing is working. And then you've had the sudden revelation that perhaps this past relationship was the one, right? And so now you're wanting to hold on to this. And it is a challenge because it is a burden to you, them, both of you potentially, this love situation. Something about working together has been very difficult. And I think your advice here is to go ahead and walk away from this situation. You may feel like this is your counterpart. We do have the Emperor and the Empress on the board now with the Lovers. And so it could very well be that on some level you've been hanging on to this person, because you've had this new understanding that they're the one. And perhaps this is even symbolic of like an apology that you've tried to make. But there's some resistance here. Something is going against the flow. And this could be you or your person. But it's almost like trying to knock down a door to a relationship that's already ended and the door's been closed. So we'll see how that plays out. It's going to be kind of a long reading. I apologize for that, Leo. Let's see. In the outcome position, we have resistance. So we've got flow and resistance on the table. And you can see how like this depiction of resistance is this hand that's just like clutching, like has a death grip on, like there's trees, there's roots. It's almost like something got pulled up from the roots. And it's almost like stuff is starting to grow out of this wrist here. And it's almost like you're just really wanting to hold on to something here. But when it comes to this particular oracle card, it kind of gives like almost like some insight into the different kinds of resistance we encounter. It talks about overt and covert resistance. So like overt resistance would be an actual physical object that comes up to block your path. And then covert resistance is more like our internal resistance to something. Like we might say that we want something, but somehow we have like this inner saboteur that is preventing us from getting it. And so let's kind of see what comes through. We have the Emperor here. So it could be a situation where you feel like you're kind of bossing up, taking charge. This could for sure be related to both love and career, so far as we've talked in this reading. This could be the Divine Masculine. This could also be you working with an authority figure or even becoming an authority figure. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So it almost feels like perhaps there is an authority figure, a Divine Masculine here, that is coming in with a love offer, a stable offer, an offer of like some permanence. Yeah, let's get some more detail and see which way this is going to go from an outcome perspective. Because to me, kind of what I'm hearing is like forewarned is forearmed. And so it's almost like if you know going into September that this could play out, you can kind of approach it a little bit differently so you're not just beating your head against a wall. Let's see why we have the Emperor here. We have the Seven of Wands, so there's that resistance. And the Emperor again. Okay. It's almost like we're refusing to let go of control here. Let's see, why do we have the Knight of Pentacles? We have the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Wands. And then for the Knight of Cups, we're getting the Page of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Okay. So again, I'll kind of go through this from a career and then a love standpoint. Somebody here, could be you, Leo, does not want to relinquish control. It's like you're standing your ground. We're getting the Emperor twice. The Emperor is the boss. And it's kind of like what he says goes. He can kind of be rigid. He can kind of be traditional. And he can also be, you know, very clear in what he wants, and nothing else is going to, and look, there you are at the bottom of the deck, Leo. So I do feel like something positive is headed your direction. But it's almost like this Emperor is standing strong. Emperor, Emperor, Seven of Wands with the Resistance card. There is a lot of stubborn energy going on here. With the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Wands. It's almost like something that didn't want to move very quickly in the past at all. It was like something that was super slow is suddenly bursting forward. There could be some communication going on here, where you or someone you know is expressing their deepest desires, their wish come true. What is my dream with this Nine of Cups? And it's like perhaps in the past, at some point in the past, it was like a super slow process, almost like no movement at all. So there may have been a time when there was almost no communication about this particular topic, you know, however it resonates for you. And then suddenly, I've made my mind up, and now I know what I want, and I want it to go fast, right? And to me, that almost feels like some advice as well. It's like, once you've decided what calls to your heart, it might finally move forward. But it's like you have to get comfortable in what it is that you really truly desire first. And kind of get out of this really rigid, unmovable energy about what it needs to look like or what have you. With the Nine of Cups, we're getting the Page of Wands and the Seven of Cups. I'm actually going to get one more card on that Seven of Cups. Where do we have that? The Seven of Pentacles. So it's kind of trying to decide if something is going to be worth it or not. And it does feel like an offer. Almost like a flirtatious type of energy here. But it does, with it being in the outcome, I think you have a decision to make here. It's like if you can get to a point where you've let go of trying to control the situation, there's much more flow. And at that point, you can kind of open up and be more in that heart space rather than in that Emperor energy. And it's like as soon as you do that, then you have like some choices to make. It's like you need to decide, is it worth it kind of energy. Oh, goodness. So a little chaotic here. When it comes to work, I feel like this is positive. I feel like even in the outcome being resistance here, I think once you find that you can not only be in control, but kind of also be flexible, we see some really good movement here. So just try and keep an open mind, because I do feel like that's going to play a big part in September. But then there could be other things that come up. You know, once we get in the flow, everything comes to us. It's like all that resistance drops away and suddenly there's space for things to come in. And it's almost like because you get into the flow, suddenly now there's all kinds of new stuff that comes in. New opportunities, new possibilities. And then, you know, even reaping some rewards for the stuff that you have worked on already. And so from a career standpoint, I really feel like this looks good. We just have to get out of this headspace that it's going to be exactly like we think it's going to be. Oh, goodness. So this will be an interesting month, Leo. If I would definitely come back to this, you know, here in a week or so and see how this is playing out for you. I hope this was helpful. Remember to like and subscribe, and definitely come on back for the love readings. It might kind of explain a little bit more of what's going on here. So that'll be coming out this week, and I hope to see you then. Bye.